Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Amaya back with another video. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how I got this hairstyle right here. It's just a very simple braided ponytail, jumbo braided ponytail to be specific. And yeah, it's really easy. All you need for this is about 2 packs of braiding hair and whatever tools that you like to use to get your hair into a slick ponytail. Now I will say that this is best for somebody whose hair is long enough to braid like into it. If your hair is too short to go down into the braid, then you might have a harder time trying to do this. But yeah, if your hair is long enough to go into the braid, then you should be fine. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get right into the tutorial. Okay, so here I've just taken off the braiding hair. So as you can see, I have 2 packs of hair and I just have them, I have both rubber bands here, and I have a 1B pack, which is right here to help blend with my real hair, and I think this color is a color, I think this is number 8. So yeah, I just have these 2, and literally all I did to my ponytail after I slicked my hair into a ponytail, and then I just tied it up with the satin scarf, like one of these kind of scarves. I tied it up overnight, and then I just put my ponytail into little plaits. Like I think I did like 4 or 5, just to help stretch it out overnight so it'd be easier to braid. And that's all I did to my hair, like to prepare for the style. And so now I'm just gonna take the rubber bands. and I'm going to wrap this around my ponytail 2 times. Okay. My ponytail is starting to get loose. Okay, so now that your hair is like this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your hair and the braiding hair and put the braiding hair on top. And then if your hair is one color, you don't have to do this, but for me, I'm gonna put the black hair on top so that it can blend with my real hair. So now this is the easiest part. All you're gonna do is just start braiding the hair as normal, but I will say it's very important to make sure that the hair is pretty detangled, because if it's really tangled and you have to have the braid in your hand and then try to separate it, it's gonna make your braid very messy. So I suggest just taking like a wide tooth comb or so, something like a wide tooth comb, and just combing through the ends really fast, because I'm telling you, like if your hair is really tangled, the braid is not gonna look good. So I'm just gonna comb through these ends really fast. Okay, and now I'm just going to start braiding as regular, or as normal, I should say. What the heck? I can't talk. Okay, but yeah, I'm just separating the hair into 3 pieces, and I'm just gonna start braiding. And you also, when you're braiding your real hair, you want to make sure that you're like gripping it tight and try to smooth as you go, so that your hair is not sticking out, especially if you're like me and you're using hair that doesn't really match your own hair texture. It's very important to try to smooth and to try to get your hair on the inside of the braid versus the outside. Also, I noticed that borrowing hair from certain sections helps to keep the braid from coming loose. So you can also borrow if you want. This isn't one of those situations where like if you borrow, it's going to mess the style up. Like if you were doing this on your real hair, you might not want to borrow hair, but with the braiding hair, it's fine. So yeah, and just take your time when you're braiding. Don't rush it, because you don't want the braid to come out lumpy or messy or anything like that. So yeah, I'm just taking my time braiding, making sure to separate and detangle between like each hand movement so that I don't create a whole bunch of tangles or whatever. And I want some of the black hair to be on top, so I'm just gonna maneuver that, because a lot of the black hair is on the inside, I think. And now I'm just continuing to braid down. I'm just borrowing a little bit so that I can keep my sections even. And then you're just gonna braid it all the way to the ends, which you can see I'm doing here. The farther down you braid it, the less likely it is to unravel. So braid it pretty far down until the ends get very thin. Especially if this is a style that you're trying to wear for like multiple days at a time, you definitely don't want this braid to come loose. So just keep going down. You can dip the hair, but I wouldn't recommend that if you're trying to keep the same braiding hair, because once you dip it, it kind of makes it hard to take the braid down without having to cut it, and it makes it hard to detangle if you're trying to braid it again. So I prefer to not dip it. I just try to braid it all the way down to the ends to keep it from unraveling, and I'm usually fine. But yeah, if you're just trying to wear this like for a weekend or so and you're going to take it out and you're probably not going to do it again for a while, then you probably can go ahead and dip it. But I think I'm going to just keep this here because, I mean, I don't know how often I'm going to want to do my hair like this. So okay, so I braided it down pretty far. I braided it all the way down here. So this braid is not going to come loose, and right here you can see the rubber band a little bit. All I do is literally flip it over and you can't see the rubber band from the front anymore. And then if you still care about it being in the back, all you have to do is leave out a small piece of hair when you're braiding, and then you can just wrap that hair around the base to cover it up. But honestly, I don't care, so that's why I didn't really bother to cover it up. But yeah, that's it. I'm probably gonna put a few bobby pins in my hair because I noticed that I need one, like right here needs a bobby pin. Okay, and that is the finished style. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as to follow me on all my social media, which is always down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Why do I wave like this? I shouldn't wave like that on camera.